Hey Stampers, Gaynor again. Can you tell I've not cleaned up from yesterday? Never mind. We get a weekly email of Stampin' Up and they send photos through of stuff that they're currently trying to sell or they're trying to promote that week. And there was a beautiful card in the email and I thought I would case it, and it's using the Country Florals embossing folder again. Bit similar to what I did the other week. I love this, absolutely love it, and as you can tell I've done it in crumb cake. So I'll show you my card, this one, and it's teamed up with the floral frames. What a great combination. You got country floral and floral frames paired together. Let me just get my, for some reason my R has come off. Yeah, country floral and floral frames teamed together. Beautiful card. I've added my shimmer sprayer on this one as well. Yeah, there you go. Look at that shimmer on there. I've added extra Winker Stella after. I've added a few little gems, some of those beautiful leaves from the florals, and I've added a bit of Winker Stella on there as well. And this beautiful label, which is on the wonk because I tried to get the letters straight. So if I'd just, it's my fault, you know me. This gorgeous baker's twine wrapped around and a little bow tied on. I'm afraid there's nothing on the inside at the moment. You never know, we could add a few flowers, but then it would stain if I coloured them. So never mind about the inside. Let's just get going. I've got the framework out ready for those. I have got my beautiful label. Theirs said hello, mine is saying sending love. So I'm going to straighten this up as best as I can. That seems straight enough to me. And I've had to put this on as level as possible as well. No label on the back, see. These are the clear mount ones and they're stuck underneath the cover. But keep these odd shapes. You never know when you're going to need them for a blob here and a blob there. And gee, they're marvellous. I always keep my shapes most of the time. Or all the time. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. I love that pattern in the framework. So I've got my my folder. I've got my ink. I've got my card base, which is 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, simply scored and folded in the centre. I've got a layer of my crumb cake, which is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. My cardstock is exactly the same, but I'm going to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Yeah, so I've got that nice little white border all the way around. This is for my framework, and then you've got a band that runs across the back here, and that is going to be the same width roughly once we've cut. This paper is going to get cut down so it'll fit beautifully. What I do is wrap my baker's twine, tie a separate little bow. I find that much easier than trying to do the two together. So let's just give this a little bit of a layer up now. Just going to layer this beautiful crumb cake card up. Concentrate on your corners. I mean, if you want to stamp some flowers in the inside and get an extra piece of cardstock, layer it up with some more crumb cake, that would be your choice. Like I say, I don't normally put anything on the inside as a rule unless I know who I'm sending it to. Then it gets its little seal of approval. So I'm going to pop these to one side for a moment. We're going to do some stamping later and a bit of die cutting. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feel, that is where all the flowers are raised. So I need to, this is all the background. So what I'm gently doing is I'm going to, with my other one, I just dabbed it on and left it full strength. And it was quite dark because the one in the email was quite pale. So I'm just going to drag this down. And just pull that colour on and off, if you know what I mean. Don't want it to be too dark. That's going to be nice and pale. So this is going to turn out a little bit paler, I think. But isn't that great? Let's pop that to one side. What I find is easier, I layer this on this side first. Just going to grab my sandwich because I'll show you my sandwich. Because I'm using the Gemini. Let's just get my pokey tool. I've got a few leaves I've cut out already, and I'll do them again in a moment and show you. Sorry about this. I'm going to add extra leaves this time. So my sandwich for the Gemini is just a cutting plate and the plastic shim, because it's very thick. The Stampin' Up ones are way thicker than most of the other embossing folders. So in that goes on its plate, and it's plastic shim on top, and that's all I use, and I get a fantastic impression that way. So I'll be 2 seconds. Oh, it sounds worse than it is, trust me. I can put my shim back down now. Ready to do my cutting. There we go. Whoops, I'm kicking everything. Oh, that is a lovely paler tone. Look at that. How wonderful is that? And all you need to do with this now is just grab a little cleaning cloth, and it wipes off beautifully. Ready for the next time. You could use hot soapy water as well, but this is done. I like to make sure I go over both sides just in case. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Love that folder. It's absolutely one of my favourites, as you know. But look at those flowers. This one is where I dabbed and left it quite strong. This one has paled down beautifully. So I'm going to get my shimmer spray. This is still going strong. And you just want to keep shaking it until the bits come off the bottom. There we go, all gone. So first of all, before I spray this, I don't want it to be totally wet through, especially when I come to trim it down. So my glue is clogging up. Oh, there we go. Just, Sleeping Beauty. I'm going to fall asleep now forever. It's not a spinning wheel. So I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to take this side off. I'm going to take this down, like I say, to 3 3/4. Make sure I don't get any blood on there. By 5 1/2. And that'll give me that lovely little border all the way around. Because this can warp your paper as well, running it through the embossing folder. So let's just check that it's going to go on there. Oh, look at that beautiful little border all the way around. It's perfect. Oh, there's a little bit there on that end. Seems to have jutted out a bit, so I'm making sure I'm going to cut it from that side. Just see a little fraction of it, and it's just there still. This is perfect. There we go. That seems to have got it. Just for that little slither, it can make your card look off, really off. So let's put that on again. That is absolutely perfect now. Beautiful. I'll add tape to the back of that and adhere that down. But we're going to spray this first. Isn't that beautiful? So again, just give it a shake. I'm going to go hold it here so I don't get it all over my desk. And that is absolutely divine. Look at me, I'm covered in it. Love this stuff. It's only rubbing alcohol. It will not hurt you in any way, shape or form. So I'm going to pop this down. Just going to give it a light rubbing. just to get my card flat. And then look at that sparkle and shine on there. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Now on this one, I'm hiding that rose there, so I may grab, oh, I'm not going to hide it this time. Or am I with that? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have this a slightly higher. So that is going to get adhered down onto there. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to use some double-sided tape because I know it will help it to stick. And it's now cut the same width. And this piece is 1 1/8 by 3 3/4, because I already pre-cut to the size of the cardstock after it's been trimmed. And before we attach, we're going to add our ribbon on our linen thread. I love the linen thread. In fact, I think it's just beautiful. I could use the green even if I wanted to. That's going to get adhered onto there shortly. Be perfect. I've got the linen thread here, which is the thin stuff. Let me just have a look in my cupboard. I'm sure I've got the thick one as well. Oh, remember this when this came out? This is the braided linen. Slightly thicker, absolutely beautiful. Let's see if we can substitute that for this. And just pop that round the corner. And that's going to go right through the centre. That is absolutely stunning. Beautiful. So I'm going to use the braided linen instead. And let me just grab, let me peel this back now. I want this to stay in the centre roughly, so if I just catch that round, it will stay in the centre just perfectly, and I can still squish it up and down just to get that line right, and then add this about there. Let me just make sure that's straight. Oh, that looks wonderful. And then I can push that down. My cord, my linen thread is perfect. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to add a bow. Excuse me, Mr. Voice just fetched me a coffee before I press record. He's a darling. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm loving his little card series. Only once a month he said he'll do it, so we've got to count our blessings, ladies. Count our blessings. So let's get some of this wrap round to make a nice bow. And while it's attached like this, make sure you knot your bow at either side before you pull, because once you pull, it's fixed. And then you can adjust and play with these tails. That is absolutely beautiful stuff. Love that. Look at that beautiful bow. And then give it that little trim. And that little trim. And that's the only bit we've lost for that. Because we kept it attached to the roll as well. Perfection. So we'll add this afterwards, because we've got our framework to do now. Oh, pardon me. Whoops. I do apologise. So here's our scrap. I'm going to do this in black memento because I'm going to be colouring in those gorgeous little leaves in my blends. what I'll do is I'll die cut this out and then I will add my sentiment in the middle, because I added the two together and then didn't do it as well as I thought I was going to do. So let's get this down here. Just wait for a second for the ink to transfer. Oh, it's on the lob. It's on the lob, that one is. So I'm going to have to cut that out. Doesn't matter it's on the lob on the paper, because when I cut it out it's going to be straight. Fingers crossed. I'll just get the cloth. But what a gorgeous set this is. I love this floral frames. Isn't it nice to pull something a little bit older out the catalogue to add with the new stuff as well? Nice to have a little bit of old and new together. I love that. It's not retired, but it came out ages ago. So we all tend to make mistakes and play with the new stuff. So 2 minutes I'll be just going to run that through my Gemini as well. I've got the leaf dies here, and I've also got some of my Mossy Meadow, which I'm using, so I will run that through as well at the same time. Fingers crossed. I hope I've got enough to get two. Maybe so. Nice. There we go. Whoa. So I had two that I cut out earlier, and I've just cut out another two, and I've used those in the Granny Apple Green. They're from the set as well. I might add a little bit of extra foliage on here. Beautiful. So delicate but so beautiful, these leaves. Absolutely gorgeous. Another one. I may get some more cardstock. That is absolutely gorgeous. And we've die cut this out beautifully. Perfect. Just check our frame. Oh, that is just beautiful. Now I can place that nice and neat, and I can keep this piece as well. I'm ready for another card. I'm going to scoop that down to there. That will go in my scraps bin now, and I will have other parts for those. I never throw my Whisper White, not if I can get a sentiment out of it. So that's perfect. Now we can fetch the Sending Love back in, and keeping my things straight now, my label straight. Fingers crossed I will be able to stamp this straight. So keeping those on the line, and I know that's on straight. Perfect, look at that, absolutely perfect, just beautiful. So I can clean this off as well. Perfect. Just going to have a look in my scraps bin. Oh look, yes, I've definitely got enough of that card to get some more leaves, but I've got no more Granny Apple Green in that colour. in that scraps bin. That's a mirrored card, but that's no good. I got purples and blues. No granny apple green. Not without... I got Call Me Clover, but I don't fancy that. I do have a piece, but let me just check the distance. It's like... I'll cut it up because it's shorter than a normal card base. This is 5 5/8, so this would make a card front. So if I cut that down to 3 7/8, I'm not going to get a leaf out of there, am I? So I'll use one of the card fronts, and in fact I cut it in half. I'll put that back in my box, and I'll trim this in half. There's only a couple of leaves I want, and the same with this one. And I'll use those back for something else. I like to utilise my cards as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to run, I am going to run those both through again on that one. And on that one, I'm going to have way more foliage. So if you bear with me for 2 minutes, I will die cut those out. Making sure I've got them nicely close knit together, so my card fits. So I come back to my pokey tool. Get those ready. I've got some extra foliage now. This is going to be beautiful. Poke those out. You can never have enough. Whoops, she says. I'm keeping those styles together, and if you bear with me 1 more minute, I'm going to run this through again in the granny apple green. I can get that out. It's so delicate. The stems are... I'll be back now, 2 seconds. Layering them up so they all fit under the cardstock. Love it. Got to remember to keep turning these plates as well, believe it or not. So there we go, we've got plenty now of these gorgeous leaves. We can start building up the foliage on the background, and it will look amazing. Whoops, there we go, that was coming off as well. Beautiful. I'm just going to poke these out. Everybody keeps asking me how I'm getting on with the Gemini. I absolutely love it. There we go, that one came out perfectly. I do, I adore it. It saves my shoulders so much trouble. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And it was well worth the money. Well, I think I got mine for about £104 off Amazon. When I first added it to my basket though, it was telling me it was £139. And because I waited, for some reason, I don't know why I waited, I was umming and ahhing. And when I finally went to process the order, it'd gone down from £139 to £104. So I was really, really chuffed that I did wait. So we've got our bow ready, we've got all our foliage ready. I'm going to attach my card first because that is all going behind there. Again, I'm using this beautiful double-sided sticky tape. It's 1/2 inch thick and it allows me to manoeuvre on my card. I'll show you now in a minute so I can get the border just perfect. And it really does stick well to the back of this card. So just see which way, the top is there, so I need the top. So I'm just using the pokey tool just to adhere that down, so enough for me to pick this end up. And I'm going to just pull back and just pull back. So my card is opening that way, so I need this to be here. Gives me a chance to line that up at the very bottom, making sure I've got a very even border all the way around, top and bottom, and I can get it straight at the top. Looks good to me. And then, whoops, I can just press that down, pull the strips, and away to go, especially if you're lining up. That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving this. So I'm going to flip this over. Before I add my dimensionals though, we're going to attach this beautiful foliage. Don't lose your bow, Gaynor. I love that shimmer on there. Look at that, it's beautiful. Mr. Boyce is going to get me a new light sorted because it's ever so dim up in this top corner for some reason. I'm going to pop them to one side for a moment. So now I am using my wet glue. I love this stuff when it's not clogging up. And I'm just going to smear all over the bottom and the top. And then we're going to place our foliage then. Even may have a bit on the side, but we're going to pop this on dimensionals after. So this glue is just for the foliage. So I'm just going to start randomly adding them on the back and evenly. I'm going to get myself one either side of those as well. On the other one, if you look, I only added one on each corner. I'm so glad I cut some extras out. Whoops, she says. Just give them a little tiny squeeze. They will stick to your fingers probably, so I'm just going to make sure I've got glue under that bit. Perfect. Add a little bit more now. And then we're going to add this beautiful green foliage here. We want these sticking out the bottom. Both sides I'm going to go. It's going all over the place. Getting my fingers mucky. So again, I'm going to add the foliage one way and then the other. You can't add too much foliage here, I don't think. Make sure they're glued down to each other. And it's worth all that little bit of extra power, work to do so. It's worth every bit, every bit. So let's get a bit of green on the go. My granny apple green. There is a little pattern on the right side as well, so you know which way round it's going. that is looking amazing. So I'm going to slide one or each of these in there. Just having that poke through there. And the same on this one. And having my foliage coming down there. You can always use your pokey tool here. And if you want the leaves glued together, just add a touch in between. I don't think you always have to. Beautiful. So that's the glue part. Got a couple of extras. May add those on the inside. So I'm going to grab dimensionals now. I'm going to have quite a few, not only to keep those in place, but it will help build the card up a little bit as well. Perfect. I'm going to get some Winker Stella on the go in a minute. I mean, that is lovely, but it looks bare now, considering I'm looking at this one. Look at the foliage on that one. That one's beautiful, but look at all that extra foliage, what it does to the card. So this is going here, and I can just about, that is gorgeous. Look at that, and I can still see that beautiful rose. So I'm going to add glue and a glue dot to this one, just to keep it in place whilst my glue goes off. Because I want to glue my tails down a little bit. So I'm going to pull them where I want them. Add glue either side and on the glue dot. And then just on the back of the tails a little bit. Ready for me to glue down into place. And that is going right there. And that is, now, once that glue goes off, them tails aren't going anywhere then. They're going to stay right there. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this card. It's beautiful. Right, we've got a couple of spare leaves, like I'm saying. I'm just going to glue them on the inside. Why not? Absolutely gorgeous. And then this one is going to come from the bottom. Top, should I say. Oh, that is so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? And then there's all that stunning foliage. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Get my pin back in. I'm going to give that a good cleaning. I'm going to take that off and give it a good soak. My fingers are covered. So, now for our Winker Stella. And I'm just going up the centre of the leaves because that's where that mark is on the embossing folder. You don't have to add loads. Well, you can if you want. You can lavish them all in this. Look how beautiful that is. Stunning, absolutely. Look at the thick foliage on that one. It's, wow, that is beautiful. And then I'm just going to go over. I know we've got shimmer on the card, but this will add extra. Oh, that is just beautiful. I'm just rubbing it over the top. That is absolutely gorgeous. This is going to my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. And I'm going to stamp the words Happy Mother's Day inside. Just having it on all the raised areas. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Love that. And strategically, I'm just going to place a couple of these rhinestones in the centre of the flowers. That one there. Oops. That one there. And this one here. Absolutely gorgeous, and I love them. That one I thought was so pretty, but look at that now with the extra foliage. You've got the thin bow and the thin foliage, and then you've got the thick foliage with the thick baker's twine, linen thread, sorry. How gorgeous is that? And we've managed to get some leaves on the inside. Oh my gosh, absolutely beautiful. A paler background. This one was quite dark, but beautiful. This one, absolutely stunning and very subtle with that shimmer and shine. So there we go. There are my two cards this evening. Cased from the lovely Stampin' Up themselves, from the weekly success. I know which one you're going to say is the best. But they're both very pretty cards. I wish I had added more foliage to that now after seeing that. It's beautiful. And again, add a couple of colours. Even some vellum leaves would look absolutely gorgeous on that as well. Entirely up to you which thread you use, but I love both of those. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. So there we go. There's my card for this evening. I'd love a thumbs up and a share. And if you don't want, I do videos every single day, as most of my beautiful subbies know. We do the premieres at 10 o'clock as well. So if you'd like to see what I make tomorrow, don't forget to press subscribe. That would be amazing, and I'd be over the moon with that. And also, if you want to press the little bell, they'll send you a notification. That way you won't miss any future videos. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping with me throughout the whole video. I love you all. See you soon. Bye.